good afternoon, and welcome to the garden. And today, April the 10th, Hftk. Do you know what I'm talking about? You may try to guess, and that's all right to guess. You may not be entirely correct, so I'll enlighten you in just a bit. But I always look forward to the 10th of every month because it gives me some additional time to think about where I've been, where I'm at, and where I'm going. 10 is a beautiful number. So I'm 10 months older today, and in exactly 2 months, it will be my birthday. So as I did my additional reflection this morning, I had some words that were attached to the letters HFTK. But I must ground those words in the backdrop of COVID-19. When COVID-19 came to our doorsteps a year and a month ago, it did a number of horrible things. So it got under our skirts. And in doing so, it deflowered us, it ravaged us, and rummaged through our very private and intimate parts. And then it threw our skirts on our faces to reveal and expose our shame, our hurt, our pain, and the sorrow that it had left behind. And then, as if to add insult to injury, it then exposed our heels to let be seen all those scars and some more pain and even more hurt. And then it went on to lay bare our hearts. And then we were clearly able to see some arrogance, some haughtiness, and some fear, worry, and uncertainty. And we didn't know where to turn. But I think in many regards we have fared out pretty well, although we have some ways to go. But our neighbors down the road, of course, we were in a chain, an island chain, and the island of St. Vincent is just a few lengths away, some miles away. They have some things to think about. So they now have to cope with the eruption of that volcano that had been imminent for a bit. And many persons needed to be evacuated from their comfort zone, their homes, their lives that they had acquired over time. And it couldn't ever be a very easy thing. I'm sure there was so much anxiety added to the idea of COVID-19 and physical distancing, having to live, having to cope. We in Antigua have been super blessed because we have been spared so many times from natural disasters. So I think it would be a little difficult for many of us to quite understand what the people are going through. Of course, we can empathize, but can we really say that we know how they are feeling? Maybe or maybe not. So let's now talk about the HFTK. H in all of what's happening around us, not only in our neighboring country, not only with COVID-19, but especially in this season and time, I am proposing that we must be humble. We aren't always the above all and the be all and end of things. Many of us go around as if we're that. We are forgetting what COVID-19 has started. We're forgetting what I've obtained before. So we go on and we are extremely manipulative of others. We are so above all. We think because of economic power, because of our level of intelligence, because of our societal standing or family background, or even the very perks we are getting because of our association, that we have the right to behave as arrogant fools. That's what I call people who think that they're better than others. Arrogant fools. We can't be arrogant. We have to be humble. All of us are equal human beings. We were created as that. And so we must strive to be humble. Many times, if people continue in their arrogance, the falls are harsh and hard. So I beg you to be humble. And of course, you must be focused. Know your purpose, know your goals, know what you need to do. Those persons who had been evacuated from their homes needed to know that they needed to move swiftly, because if they didn't, there would be some things that they would have to face. Of course, there have been some stubborn ones who decided that their focus would need to be on their homes and their crops and their livestock, so they determined that they would remain behind. I'm not going to be judging them in that. That's what they chose to focus on. But in the end, what I'm saying, that whatever we choose to focus in must be meant to have a good ending for ourselves and indeed for those that we love. So we must know our focus. So we are humble and we are focused. Then we've got to be thankful. We've got to be thankful. Our very neighbors, they are coping with all of that ash fall. And I'm thinking of those persons, the elderly, the little infants, the toddlers, and persons with respiratory problems, and even other individuals who have anxiety issues, who will have a terrible time to cope with all of that ash and even the very movement themselves and the rumblings and all of the angst and anger and uncertainty. We are enjoying the clear skies, and in addition, we have been extremely blessed. In Antigua as well, we have been spared on numerous occasions from natural disasters that were meant to come our way. Not because we are better off than persons in other islands, but because in this season, we are just receiving some grace. Not that they aren't receiving grace, but things happen in seasons. So we got to be thankful, and we have to be thankful for family and friends. We aren't meant to be hermits living by ourselves. We are social beings meant to interact with persons. So we got to be thankful for those around us. And even when those persons are not so kind to us, be thankful, because there is always something to be learned. And of course, by all means, we must be thankful for the grace and the mercies and the faithfulness of God. He remains faithful throughout all of what we're going through. And lastly, we must be kind. I always say that human dignity is a basic human right that should be afforded to everybody. Some people are very mean-spirited and they use that term about speaking my mind and being who I am to be downright crass, discourteous, rude, and awful to others. That isn't how it ought to be. You must be kind. It doesn't take anything from someone to be kind to another person. It doesn't rob you of anything. It doesn't take away your wealth. It doesn't remove your clothes from off of your backs. It doesn't take away your money. It is simply a human right, a humane thing to do, to be kind to others. So I beg of you, I beg of us as we move forward to embrace Hftk. Be humble, be focused, be thankful, and of course, certainly be kind. Have a blessed Saturday evening.